Our worship continues with a message for all ages. So I'd like to invite the children especially to come forward and gather and sit up front so you can be a little closer to the action this morning. Welcome. Come on up and sit up right up here. You guys can sit right here on the floor. I know usually you're sitting on the stairs, but could you sit on the floor? That way I can stand and face all of them at the same time that I face all of you. Excellent. Running. Good to see you. Awesome. Come on up and sit together. You can bring a parent, that's fine. They're welcome too. This is for all ages, right? Excellent. Do you want to come over and join us? You can if you want. Well, it's good to see all of you here this morning. I don't know if you've noticed, week by week, we've been adding a new banner in the sanctuary. And there's a new banner up today. Each one has a different word on it. Does anybody know which one was new today? Yeah, do you have a guess? This one right here on the pulpit. Yeah, those have been up for a while. I'll give you a hint. It's over my shoulder. It's the word, it's right over there. It's not on my shoulder. It's up there. It's the word steward. Now, that may not be a word that you know a lot about just by hearing it, but maybe after we talk a little with each other, you'll understand a little bit better. Because it's something you do every day. So, one way to learn about a new word is to find out where the word came from. There's two parts to this word. The first part, the S-T-E, the st, comes from a very old word that means house. Okay? Ward, at the end, is comes from another old word that means to guard or take care of. So, a person who is a steward is someone who takes care of a house. So I was thinking, I bet some of you do things to help around your house. What are some things you do to help around your house? Yeah. Unload the dishwasher. Yeah, what else do you do to help around the house? Sweep? Yes, good job. That's good helping. Yeah. Take the what out? Take the dogs out. That's always helpful. Anything else? What else do you do to help around the house? Do you put away your toys? Yeah, that's important sometimes, right? I bet you help clean up a little bit. Well, there's lots of ways to help take care of our house. And every time you do, you are being a steward of your house. Interesting. So there are lots of other things in our lives that we take care of. And sometimes we do a great job of it, and sometimes not such a good job. This is when I have to tell you about my guinea pig, Midnight. When I was in about 4th grade, I really wanted a guinea pig. Do any of you have a guinea pig? Any of you have pets? Yeah, okay. So I really wanted a guinea pig. And so I talked to my parents, and parents were like, I don't know, we already have a dog, do we really need another pet? I said, please, I really want a guinea pig. I said, well, there's a lot of responsibility with a guinea pig. You have to take care of it, you have to clean the cage, you have to feed it and make sure there's water, and you have to, spend time with it. And I said, I will do it all. I got this. So we got a guinea pig. She was black, all black, short-haired guinea pig, very, very cute. Well, of course, at the beginning, I did everything really well. I fed Midnight, and I made sure to change her water, and I changed the straw in her cage, and I tried to play with her. She was a little bit hard, though, because sometimes she would bite me. But I kept at it, and I kept trying. And I always knew when it was time for Midnight to be fed because she would squeal from her cage, and her cage was down in the basement. So when it was getting close to time for her to eat, she would start to go, and I'd be like, all right, I got to feed the guinea pig. Run down and feed Midnight. Well, over time, it started to feel really hard to do all the things that she needed. And the first thing, of course, was like, well, I'm supposed to clean the cage every week, but then I started to wait every 2 weeks. Supposed to feed her morning and evening, and sometimes I would forget. And I would hear her downstairs, read. Oh, I'm like, oh, right, I gotta feed the guinea pig. I gotta take care of the guinea pig. And it started to become hard. And that's when my parents said, we're noticing that you're not taking very good care of Midnight. And she needs someone who can take better care of her. And I said, I know, I don't know. I'm just not doing a good job, and it's just so hard, and it stinks, and I don't want to do And they said, I think we need to give Midnight to someone who will take better care of her. So we gave Midnight to the local elementary school, and she lived the rest of her days in some classroom being loved by lots and lots of children who took much better care of her than I was. Eek. So sometimes we don't do so good at taking care of things that we are supposed to be stewards of. So what do you think it means to be a good steward? What does it mean to take care of things in our lives? Feed them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Clean. If you get a Oh yeah, give them some time outside. My guinea pig probably would have loved that. Well, there's lots of things that we're supposed to take care of, and by taking care of them, it's a responsibility, and we have to keep doing it, right? Well, often being a good steward means being responsible and taking care of things and following expectations, following the instructions. But sometimes being a good steward means doing something a little unexpected. And for that, I want to share with you a story that Jesus told. Okay? There once was a very, very rich man, but everyone knew that he got rich in the wrong ways. He was mean, not being nice to the people around him. He was greedy, always wanting more and more and more. And worst of all, he was a cheater, taking things that were not his. Well, this rich man decided to go on a long trip and called his most trusted workers into his office to ask them to be stewards of some of his money while he was gone. I need 3 people who will be willing to help me up here for this part. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you guys come up. So you can pretend to be the 3 workers. So if you just turn and you can come up too. Great. You want to stand with them too? You can stand with them over there. You can stand with them. Great. So, he called the 3 in. To the first, he gave a bag with 1 talent in it. Now, talent, we think of that in a different way now, but a talent was a measure of weight. And it was used to measure money. And 1 talent, the amount of money, silver in this case, that would equal 1 talent is the amount of money it would take you as a worker 15 years to earn. Huge amount of money. So the first one got 1. To the second, 2 talents. And to the third, there had to be 2 people holding it because it was a lot. 5 talents. 2 talents is like the equivalent of 30 years of work, and 5 talents, well, that was more money than you could make in a lifetime. At that point, the rich man left. So what do you think this rich man would want these workers to do with the money he gave them? Any ideas? Protect it? Any other ideas? Spend it? Not spend it? Maybe make more money? Yeah. Well, the one who received 5 talents, oh, you did it. You turned it around. Turn that 5 into 10. Can you hold that up so everyone can see the 10? Good job. The one who received 2 turned it into 4. Can you turn it up and show everybody? The one who got 1 talent, can you hold yours up? Buried it in the ground. Now, eventually, the rich man returned home, and he called his workers in to see what they had done with his money. The worker who received 5 talents came forward and said, "You gave me 5, and I made 5 more." "Well done," said the rich man. "The rich get richer. Anyone who makes me more money gets to move up in my business." The worker who received 2 talents came forward and said, "You gave me 2, and I have made 2 more." "Well done," said the rich man. "The rich get richer. Anyone who makes me more money gets to move up in my business." The worker, can you hold yours up? The worker who had dug a hole and buried the bag said, "Here is the 1 talent you gave me. I knew you were mean and cheated to get your money. I certainly don't think you deserve more money, so I buried it. Here it is." The rich man was furious. "You buried it? Just because you thought I was mean and a cheater? Well, even if I am, couldn't you have at least put the money in the bank instead of just burying it? You're fired." And the worker was thrown out of the man's house. Okay, you can put your bags down. You can put your bags back down. And you guys can go back and sit down. Thank you. You can go back and sit down. Thank you. Woo! You could just put the bag right down here. You can put the bag right there. Or you can sit with it. There we go. So I have some questions about this story for you. Why do you think this worker buried the bag of money? What's that? Why did he bury the bag of money? Yeah. So no one could make more out of it? Any other ideas? Yeah? So the rich man couldn't buy more stuff, maybe? Do you think that worker who buried the money should have been fired? No? So what happens to someone if they lose their job? Yeah? Yeah, they have to try and find a different job. Yeah? Find another way to make a living, right? Work is part of how we pay for things like clothes and food, right? And housing. It's a pretty bad thing to lose your job. Well, do you think that worker did the right thing? Yeah? Why? The rich man already had too much money. Any other ideas? I didn't quite understand that. Something about the town. He didn't kill the town? He probably did a lot of bad things to the town, knowing how he made his money. So, the question is, what will you do with all you've been given? If you think about it, all of us have so much in our lives. We have places to live, we have food on our tables, we have money. Even if you have a little, we've been blessed with so much. What will you do with what you've been given? If we continue reading right after the story about the rich man, Jesus gives us some ideas about how to be stewards of what we've been given. Listen, he basically says, you are blessed. Just notice that. You are blessed. A new way of living is waiting for you. Because I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was naked and you gave me clothing. I was sick and you took care of me. I was in prison and you visited me. Now you might wonder, when did I do those things for you? For me? But truly I tell you, do this for anyone, especially the poor, and you do it for me. So what will we do with all we've been given in our life? With our very lives, with our time, with creation, with our with all of our life? Being a disciple, a follower of Jesus, will sometimes mean doing what the worker who got the one talent did. It might mean standing up to people who are mean and pointing out when things aren't fair. Being a steward also means using all we have to help feed people, not bank accounts, to quench the thirsty, not the greedy, to clothe those who are vulnerable, to welcome the stranger and visit the imprisoned. What will you do? All of you, what will you do with all you've been given in your life? Hopefully, you will be a steward of it. Amen. Let's prepare to sing our response, and as we do, children, you can go back to your seat.